Hi everyone, my name is William from Own This Property and welcome back to the channel. Another new year, another new Lentor launch, and this time it is the 6th installment called Lentor Central Residences. Now right at the start, I would like to just put it out there that Lentor Central Residences is not for everyone. If you see my Ultimate Guide to New Launches 2025 edition, you will see that I rank it a C, which is just average. So should you still consider Lentor as an option? What I'm about to share with you in this video might just surprise you, so stay tuned to the end of the video to find out whether you should be buying or skipping Lentor Central Residences. Rewinding back the clock to a year ago, we have the first harmonized plot in Lentor called Lentor Mansion. Now, if you haven't seen my 2 Lentor videos, click the pop-up link above, or you can also check out the links I left in the description below. There has been 4 past launches before Lentor Mansion, and back then it was about 50% sold overall. Before everything was launched, this was my assessment of all the Lentor launches. Lentor Mansion was my favorite pick because it ticks all the boxes, having all the attributes we want, such as close to an MRT, a large land plot, amenities, and most importantly, 1 km to St. Nick's. Now, if you take a look at this chart over here, the prices are based on the developer's land cost. Now that we have all the prices out, things might change. Fast forward to a year today, the whole area is already about 90% sold. Lentor Mansion remains my top pick. All of the 1 to 4 bedrooms are already fully sold. If you are in the market looking for a 5-bedroom, please just stop this video, go ahead and buy Lentor Mansion because it is the best and it is your only option for 5 bedrooms anyway. And in the interest of being 100% objective and transparent, my stance has always been that Lentor is in an oversupply situation today. But what's happening today might not be the same in the future. So if we take a look at this chart over here, on the left hand side, you will notice that the master plan has changed significantly. Many years ago, you'll see that in between Springleaf and Lentor, you have a huge yellow plot, and now this is a reserve site. And fast forward to the latest master plan in 2019, you'll notice that the color has changed from yellow to beige. Now beige stands for residential land. And the government has stated very clearly in the URA master plan that this will be a new township. If you take the Thomson East Coast line today from Lentor, straight away you go to Springleaf. But if you zoom in further, there is another station in between called Tagore. Right now it's not operational because there simply isn't anything there yet. Very similar to what happened to Woodley in the past. They built the MRT but not open it. Then they built the properties, and once there are commuters, they will finally open the MRT. The potential here is undeniable. There will be a lot of transformation happening, but we must also enter with our eyes wide open. This must have a longer holding period. It is not a quick 3-year flip kind of property. Since all the prices are out right now, continuing to use the developer's land cost to look at prices no longer is meaningful. Here's an updated streamlined version of the Lentor new launch comparison, and the biggest winner here is Lentor Hills. In the past, not all blocks were confirmed to be within 1 km for St. Nick's, but right now, every single unit has been confirmed to be within 1 km for St. Nick's, and I upgraded the score from 4 to 5. With that in mind, let's now look at how Lentor Central ranks and compares with all the other condos in the area. Developed by Guko Land, Intrepid and CSE Land, Lentor Central will be the tallest development in the area. For the first factor, looking at the schools, unfortunately it is not within 1 km of St. Nick's. I've taken the effort to actually draw the radius myself, but please do your own due diligence, and you can see that Lentor Central being on the top left hand side is outside that 1 km radius to St. Nick's. Second factor, MRT and amenities, Lentor Central will definitely get it. It is just a traffic light away from Lentor Modern. That's where you also get all your amenities such as your supermarket, F&Bs and more. Hence, Lentor Central will score 3 out of 5 for the school factor, while Lentor Hills, Lentora and Lentor Mansion are all within 1 km of St. Nick's, so they get full marks here. For the amenities and MRT, we are just splitting hairs over here, but definitely Hillock Green and Lentor Central are closer to the MRT, so they do get a better score, whereas Lentor Mansion and Lentoria are the furthest away, so I also score them slightly lower at 3 out of 5. Next, for the attribute about size, all the Lentor properties are good size developments. The only exception here is Lentor. It only has about 267 units, making it the smallest development in the area. Hence, full marks for everyone over here except for Lentor, and I do have to penalize it a little bit more because this negative aspect is even more apparent when everyone has it, but Lentor does not. The fourth factor is looking at the development or the developer, and you might already know that the entire area is developed by GukoLand or their related companies. Only Hillock Green is developed by a different developer. The GukoLand family of companies, their Concast rating are all either Band 1 or Band 2, which is good. But Hillock Green's developers right now, their Concast rating is still under assessment. Looking at the site plan, the good news is that Lentor Central has a 50-meter lap pool, and most importantly, there is a tennis court. This will make you stand out from Hillock Green because Hillock Green does not have a tennis court. These two developments will be compared a lot because they are equidistant to the MRT and both of them are not within 1 km of St. Nick's. Moving on to the unit mix, I think it's just okay. Notice that the 2-bedroom plus study has a lot of units over here at Lentor Central. Some might argue that it's going to be for own stay, but I still bucket it under the investment category. So looking at the ratio, there is slightly more investment units compared to own stay units because of these 2 plus study units. All in all, Lentor Central has good attributes and I score it 4 out of 5. Whereas Hillock Green and Lentor, I bumped down the score to 3 out of 5 because it does not have a tennis court. And if we sum up all the factors over here, Lentor Central scores 16 out of 20. It's not the best, but it's actually pretty okay. So what I'm about to share with you next is actually the most important factor and why I think you should still look at Lentor Central as an option, and that is because of its price. Based on the latest developers guide prices, Lentor Central will start from 975k, which is the one bidder, and the PSF also starts from $1,984 per square feet. Now the starting price definitely looks attractive, but do note that the developer tends to like to use a low starting from price to make it look attractive, but then they might actually load the per floor jump more aggressively. We always want to look at the average PSF for every development. So here's the angle that you need to have if you to ever consider Lentor Central Residences. We want to find a unit that is possibly the same, if not lower price than some of the past launches in the area. This gives us a good safety buffer because admittedly, Lentor Central is not the best. It's supposed to be cheaper because it does not have that 1 km to St. Nick's. And the bonus point over here is that because our comparable here is Hillock Green that does not have a tennis court, if you can enter even cheaper than Hillock Green, I think that gives you even more of a safety buffer. To compare the price, let's start off with the 2-bed 2-bath. Let's see whether Lentor Central has that quantum advantage. Based on my estimate of about $2,200 per square feet, the units will average at about $1.492 million. The most important check, is it cheaper than Hillock Green? The answer is yes. The 2-bed 2-bath here is the cheapest in Lentor, all things considered. Only Lentor Hills is cheaper, but that's because of harmonization. It is actually a smaller unit. For the 2 plus study, unfortunately, the quantum advantage is no longer there. It is probably going to be the most expensive 2 plus study, also because it is the biggest. So even though later you'll see in the layout analysis that the layouts are actually pretty nice, but your exit is going to be a problem next time. You're the most expensive 2-bed plus study in the area. Future resale buyers probably might not consider you first. They might consider the other developments first instead. For the 3-bedroom complex at Lentor Central, I like that it is cheaper than the other harmonized plot at Lentor Mansion. It is the second cheapest, only more expensive than Hillock Green, but again, it's due to the larger size. So should you pay a little bit more for Lentor Central? Stay tuned to my later part where I'll compare the layouts for Lentor Central, Hillock Green, and also Lentor, and you'll see why I do like this 3-bedroom compact here at Lentor Central more. For the 3-bedroom premium, quite a similar story. We are more expensive than Lentor Mansion, but this is again because of the bigger size. We are the 3rd cheapest on paper, and when we compare it to Hillock Green, I think the Lentor Central Residences layouts are better, so the 3-bedroom premium is still worth considering over here. For the 4-bedroom compact, Lentor Central Residences is the 2nd cheapest, only after Hillock Green. And again, this is due to the larger size on paper. And I think that this is a good quantum advantage layout over the other developments in the area. Lastly, for the 4-bedroom premium, you can see here that Lentor Hills has the cheapest 4-bedroom layout. Lentor Central is kind of like in between, but that's because of its larger size. It does have a good quantum advantage over the rest, and I think that most importantly, the PSF is lower than our competitor Hillock Green. To summarize, where is the quantum advantage? If you take a look at this chart over here where I summarize all the different layouts, just purely looking at the price, Lentor Central Residences 2-bed 2-bath, 3-bedroom compact and the 4-bedroom compact are the best buys. I would definitely want to avoid the 2+ study if I can. It is the most expensive, so there's no quantum advantage over there. So with all these prices aside, the next thing we need to do is to layer the layout analysis over that. If you can find a unit that not only has the quantum advantage, but also an even better layout, then that makes your purchase much more safer as well. First up, the 2-bed 2-bath Lentor Central does give you that dumbbell layout. Hillock Green and Lentor does not. So this layout definitely gets my stamp of approval. Plus, you can see that the kitchen is enclosable while the other two have an open concept kitchen. So over here it's pretty clear Lentor Central is the better layout. For the 2+ study, remember that it does not have the quantum advantage, and that is because of its larger size. It is going to be the largest 2+ study in the entire Lentor area, but there's good reasons for it. Firstly, you can see that it has that dumbbell layout, which is good. It also has the enclosable kitchen. But more importantly is that take a look at that study. It is huge, and there is a door that is connected to a Jack and Jill bathroom as well. So while the quantum is higher, I do foresee that resale buyers might actually really like this layout. It's very suitable for own stay as well. Next, the 3-bedroom compact. Now, Hillock Green is already fully sold, so we can only compare with Lentor. And notice that with the URA harmonization, essentially the layouts at Lentor Central is going to be larger than Lentor. Plus, you get the enclosed kitchen with windows and the larger bedrooms. So if you're not buying for own stay or getting that 1 km to St. Nick's, then I think it's also pretty good to look at Lentor Central for this particular layout. I will buy this layout over Lentor. For the 3-bedroom premium over at Lentor is already fully sold out. We'll only be comparing to Hillock Green. If you take a look at Hillock Green, it has that study area. Instead of a study, Lentor Central, what it does is that it has a home shelter at the kitchen. I think that is more appropriately placed. It's a better place to have a helper or to just have more storage space. Just looking at the 3-bedroom premium, looking at the price, I also think that Lentor Central is a better buy than Hillock Green. The theme also continues when we move on to the 4-bedroom compact. Notice how for Lentor Central, they do emphasize on a larger living space and a larger bedrooms. The master bedrooms all have that walk-in wardrobe area. Lentor here is also special. It has that junior master on the other side of the unit. So this is suitable for multi-generational families. And because all the space on paper, a lot of it went to the aircon ledge for Hillock Green, I kind of just ruled it out totally. Don't consider it. Just between Lentor and Lentor Central, if you are not buying for the school, Lentor Central is great. But if you want to factor in that 1 km to St. Nick's, then Lentor layout is still pretty good on paper. Lastly, the 4-bedroom premium and Lentor Central has the largest layout, 1,399 square feet, and if you account for the harmonization, this is close to 1,480 square feet for a 4-bedroom. You will get that comparable landscape living and dining area that is the same throughout the 3 condos over here. But overall, you will get a larger bedroom and also larger master bedroom. Not a standout winner here. Again, I like Lentor. It does have that junior master bedroom on the other side of the house, so that will be good for multi-generational families. And if I take a look at Hillock Green, I mean, if you can buy a unit today at Lentor Central cheaper than Hillock Green, then again, the answer is pretty clear for me. Just go ahead and buy Lentor Central instead. With all the price and layout analysis behind us, who should be buying Lentor Central Residences? I think that this development is suitable for 50% investment and 50% own stay. Now do note that for all Lentor properties, it's not going to be a quick flip 3-year kind of property. You do need to factor in a longer holding period. And Lentor Central Residences is cheaper. It is supposed to be cheaper, and if you can really get a unit that is cheaper than the other units in the area, I think that gives us a very safe buffer, and that is a very good reason that you should still consider to buy Lentor Central. On one hand, for own stay, it's going to be good. The reasons for buying it for own stay is that, of course, you will be close to nature, you have the MRT, you have the amenities, and most importantly is that the layouts, I think, are great. The master bedrooms are bigger than your comparables. If you go to the 4-bedroom, you'll also get that walk-in wardrobe. But on the flip side, because of the place that we are positioned, there is a reserve site to the south of us and maybe another residential plot to the north of us in the future. So you might get some construction noise in the future if you were to buy this for own stay. These unblocked views in the north might also be gone in the future. On the investment side, all of us already know that Lentor is going to be a new township. This transformation will bode well for all of us. And most importantly, I have to emphasize again, this is supposed to be cheaper. And if you really can get a unit that is cheaper, this quantum advantage will be beneficial for you from an investment point of view. Now, on the flip side, this transformation will take a while. It's still uncertain when, all the other residential land plots will be launched or when your BTOs will even come into play. And of course, the last point is that it is not within 1 km of St. Nick's. And we have a bonus teaser over here because don't forget that just one MRT stop away from us at Springleaf, we have the Upper Thomson GLS Parcel B. This will be launching probably in the second half of this year, so do stay tuned for that as well. If you take a look at the land cost that the developers bought, and surprise, surprise, is GoCo land again, they have certainly all into this area. It really reflects their conviction and also the potential that they see in the area. GoCo land got the land 5.6% cheaper. This might bode well for you as a buyer. They will probably also launch this pretty competitively. And with that, we've come to the end of the video. Thank you for staying to the end, and I really hope that I gave you some valuable insights that will help in your decision making on whether you should consider Lentor Central. But if this is not the project for you, not to worry, because I've created the Ultimate Guide to New Launches 2025 edition. So if you want a copy of the PDF, just fill the form in the link below and I'll be happy to share it with you. And if you also like my style of looking at properties, my objective view, and think that we are a good fit, do reach out to me on WhatsApp and I'll be happy to share more with you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.